Welcome to today's Escape to the Country. Now, we often say that an Englishman's home is his castle, but can you imagine living in this one? But where are we, and what other dark and mysterious tales does it hold? Well, join me in just a few moments, and I'll tell you. On today's show, I'll be helping a property developing couple move to the country and finally find a house that they can live in. We get off to a great start. I'm really chuffed at the way this is going, I have to say.
This is going too well.
Well. Then at the Mystery House, our buyers say the word we always long to hear.
Sold.
Well, today we're in Pembrokeshire in West Wales, and these are the glorious ruins of Carew Castle. Now, since it was begun by the Normans, it's been much extended and embellished, but it all came to a crashing end in the English Civil War. Unusually, this castle was held by the Royalists. Eventually, they were defeated, and the castle has fell into a pretty ruinous state. All the inhabitants have gone, it is said, with one exception, the ghost of Lord Roland Rees, who it's thought still walks the ramparts with his pet ape, Satan. Fact or fiction? Well, you never really know, but there is a lot more to this county than tall tales of ghosts, apes, and old lords. Looking out over the Irish Sea, Pembrokeshire is bordered by neighbouring Ceredigion and Carmarthenshire. Over a third of the county falls within the Pembrokeshire National Park and takes in much of its coastline, from the sweeping beaches around Tenby to St David's, dominated by its 14th century Bishop's Palace and its cathedral. St David's itself has always proved a major draw for the area, being a site of pilgrimage for the last 1,500 years. Indeed, in the 12th century, it was a rival even to the city of Rome. And these days, Pembrokeshire as a whole still proves popular, attracting 4.2 million visitors a year, keen to enjoy its stunning coast and countryside. Now, of the three counties that make up West Wales, Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire and Ceredigion, Pembrokeshire is by far the most expensive. Your average detached will set you back around about £218,000. But the reasons, well, they're obvious. This stunning coastline and a lovely rural way of life attract people here in their thousands, not just for holidays, but also to live. So if you fancy a slice of Welsh tranquility, Pembrokeshire is a good bet. For just under £290,000, what about this spacious cottage in the coastal village of Moyle Grove? The exposed stone wall is a real focal point of the lounge diner, and its 3 bedrooms upstairs are light and bright, with lovely views over the attractive garden and countryside beyond. Or for just short of £600,000, there's this 3-bedroom stone barn conversion near Mathry, which comes with 3 holiday lets. They're all modernised inside, but maintain character features such as wooden floors and exposed stone walls. Outside, the gardens offer stunning sea views of the North Pembrokeshire coast. For those with deep pockets, this Grade 2 listed farmhouse near Strumble Head is priced at £840,000. Its airy rooms feature huge sash windows and impressive fireplaces. And there are fantastic views over the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park. Well, as you can see, the Pembrokeshire property market rarely disappoints, which of course is exactly why today's buyers want to be here. For them, life in this part of the world could well be a dream come true. Builder David and sales director Alison live in Stourbridge in the West Midlands. Over the last 9 years, they've ploughed their energies into renovating properties, the most recent being their current 3-bedroom detached home, which they share with their rescue dogs. But even though they've loved the challenge, they're ready to leave it all behind them and build a new life and means of income close to the shores of Pembrokeshire.
I think a move to the coast.
It'll give us a better quality of life.
Yeah.
And we're not getting any younger now, should we say. We need to start building a business that will take us through to our retirement, really. Yeah. And we feel holiday accommodation across with somewhere beautiful to live.
And their ties to Pembrokeshire have strengthened over many years.
We're down there at least 4 times a year. I actually started going down there in mid-1970s as a child with my family.
We find it very dog friendly down there. The people are fantastic, and it feels like it's more of a home from home every time we do a visit, so that's made us want to settle in the area really.
David and Alison are happy to put in the hard work in order to get their perfect home and holiday let business. But they are fixed on finding a character farmhouse style property with countryside views in a semi-rural location. What's more, they have a detailed wish list of what the house needs to deliver.
An ideal property would have big living kitchen with a range cooker would be ideal, open fires or wood burning stoves in the living room.
Yeah, an office downstairs.
A minimum of 3 bedrooms.
And no more than an acre of land, really.
Yeah, an annex would be ideal. It would be even better if one of the outbuildings or the annex was already up and running as a holiday let, but with other outbuildings for a future development.
They want to be mortgage free, although they're not averse to looking at having a small mortgage if the business potential is right. So there is a bit of flexibility in the finances.
Our ideal budget for this move would be £380,000, but an ideal property with outbuildings or an annex up and running as a holiday let, we would stretch to £400,000.
So having lived in and done up 3 houses over the last 9 years, it seems that Dave and Alison are up for yet another project here in Pembrokeshire. Now, as well as a home, of course, they also want something of a business, hence the need for the annex. And of course, they want a bit of peace and quiet. That's where the acre or more of land comes in. Now, their £400,000, I think, is pretty optimistic. But here in Pembrokeshire, there's such a wealth of property on offer. Who knows? We might just be in luck. Although David and Alison would prefer a coastal location, we may stray inland in order to show them the best they can get for their budget. Our 3 Pembrokeshire properties all serve up very different home and business options for them to consider. But I'll only reveal the price of each when they've had a guess first. Lastly, our mystery house will take them into uncharted territory. Well, guys, very nice to see you. You are quite familiar with Pembrokeshire in many ways.
Yeah, that's
And now,
right.
finally, you've decided to chuck it all in and make this your new home.
Yes, very exciting.
We're trying to make a business as well as a home for ourselves, yeah.
But, you know, having a holiday let down here is a well-worn path in a way. Competition can be quite fierce. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, because it's just not all about the holiday business. It's about the move as well itself, living in a beautiful place like this. And I'm still going to work, so David's got the hard work of building the business up. But just enjoy this way of life, really.
Well, we've got 3 properties, including, of course, our mystery house, to show you.
Yeah.
Are they perfect? Do they need some work? Who knows?
I hope so.
Come on, follow me.
Cheers.
So, with a top budget of £400,000, David and Alison would like to find a country home that would provide them with a living room and a wood burner, a large kitchen diner, 3 bedrooms, and crucially, they're after outbuildings which would give them the chance to develop a holiday let. Would you give it up after a while, Alison, your job?
Yeah, eventually. I plan on seeing myself working for the next 10 years.
You're laughing, mate, aren't you? You're going to be sitting at home with the dogs, being a house husband, Alison out on the road.
I think I'm too young to retire yet.
Well, now what it is, Jules, when it's up and running nice, then she'll retire and take over.
Balancing their business aspirations with their budget, we're kicking off our house search by heading away from the coast towards the village of Crimmick, which, with around 2,500 residents, offers up an array of local shops and amenities. About a 4-mile drive away in rural seclusion is our first property, which is a larger proposition than first meets the eye. Well, I think this is a pretty good start to our house search.
That's nice, yeah, that's nice.
And this whole little complex sits within 6 acres.
6 acres.
Yes?
Yeah.
That hill in the distance, well, that's the Presellis. I mean,
Yes.
Pembrokeshire National Park, right on your doorstep.
Yeah, yeah.
But the house itself, the main event, is right ahead of us. It's very sweet. It's all been done.
Yeah.
You know, is it going to be right for you two, though? Let's have a look. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Alongside our traditional Welsh cottage, which dates back to the 1760s and is Grade 2 listed, there's a separate outbuilding which we'll look at later as a possible holiday let. But first, we'll explore what would be their home. Right, in you come. Look at this. What do you think? Feast your eyes.
Mezzanine.
Yeah.
That's been done. That's been tastily done. Yes.
Fireplace is beautiful.
Yeah, this actually, it looks like a wood burner. It's actually gas.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's also an open fire at that end. Again, the chimneys have been relined and so forth.
They have done a very good job. They've been very meticulous with the, with the detail.
The upstairs mezzanine would make a great office for Alison or an occasional bedroom, as tucked away at the end is a little ensuite. And I think they'll be impressed by the high-spec finish in the next room. Now, come on through to the kitchen. This is of a size which I wasn't expecting when I first came in here.
This is lovely.
It just gets better. It gets better. Yeah.
It's exactly how do we do it, Jules?
I wouldn't change a thing.
It's beautiful.
You could just move in here tomorrow.
And certainly, if you were thinking about, cooking for guests or, making things that you could sell on and so forth, this is a great kitchen.
And you can eat in it, and that's what's so fantastic.
Entertaining here. And
it's nice to put the dogs. We've got the dogs as well.
The dogs
so
in it. I can imagine the dogs. Stable door open, dogs running around here.
At the other end of the hallway is the utility cum boot room that David and Alison asked for. Also leading off the main hallway is a spacious family bathroom. But let's take a look at the sleeping arrangements. Well, this is one of the 2 double bedrooms on this ground floor. There's another one, same sort of size, just over there, across the hallway. But they've both got these lovely sort of vaulted ceilings.
Yeah, exposed beams, that's nice.
I'm surprised how light it is.
If we went for the option of making the mezzanine an office, one of these would be your master.
I mean, this would be not a nice master bedroom, this would, yeah.
Good. I'm really chuffed at the way this is going, I have to say.
This is going too well.
Well, we're now going to get to the project.
Yes.
Which is the little byre or barn outside.
Oh, yeah.
This is where you're going to have to work your magic, all right, and use a bit more imagination.
So it's not retirement just yet?
Not just yet, no. Follow me. The high-quality finish and space that this cottage offers has both surprised and delighted our buyers. So now let's turn our attention to the holiday let possibilities of the adjacent building. There we go.
Wow.
What would you do with this then?
This is a nice space.
Yeah?
So the timbers are all being changed.
We're just looking at the roof. I mean, it's all been clad, tongue and grooved up there.
The painstaking work has been done already on this.
It's not going to cost you an arm.
Cosmetically, 2 months you could have turned this round, and it could be
2 months. 2 months. That's what he said. Did
I?
Yeah, I think you did. I think we might have recorded it as well. David seems to have worked it all out. There's also a huge steel frame workshop, which would no doubt be useful storage space while getting the holiday let up and running. And let's not forget the 2 enormous paddocks they get, which amount to 6 acres. The big question is, at what price? Let's talk about the money then, shall we?
Oh, that's the hard part.
Well, it might not be that hard, you never know.
It's an awkward one. The value of this has increased as I've gone round, really, Joel.
Yeah.
So it's... I'll let Alison go first.
Go on then.
I think the house with the land, I'm going to go pitch for about 375.
I'll go slightly higher because it's the quality it's been done. 385.
385.
Yeah.
OK, so 385 would leave you £15,000 left over.
Yeah.
To do some work on that, and what, 10 grand?
10,000 would be achievable there.
I think you'd go a lot further, though, if you got this for £350,000.
That's
amazing.
That's a good price.
I think that's a very good price. You get an awful lot for your money. I mean, let's face it, a picture of, a Welsh cottage you couldn't want better.
Fantastic.
Yeah, off you
Let's have a
go.
look.
I'll catch up with you later. Very good. Well, what a price, what a property. Absolutely fantastic. And if you are looking for a picture of Welsh serenity here in the countryside, you're going to struggle to beat that. Under their budget at £350,000, David wouldn't have to lift a finger in the main house, which has been beautifully renovated and provides them with a sitting room, giving them not one but two fireplaces, a large farmhouse kitchen diner, along with 3 possible bedrooms, including the space for Alison's study. Outside, there's the potential for a holiday let if they get the right planning permissions. And it's all wrapped up on a 6-acre plot in a stunning rural location.
When we drove up to the house, I just thought, wow, picture postcard perfect, really. I thought the kitchen was absolutely fantastic. But overall, I have a tendency to think that it's too perfect for David and he will get bored with not having enough work to do.
You know, the inside of the house is absolutely immaculate. You cannot fault, you know, the decor and the quality of workmanship. It's been done, you know, to a very high standard. Even the outbuilding with the potential to make as a holiday home. Overall, you know, he could just really move in tomorrow and start living here.
Now then, have you worked it all out?
Easy.
Easy, easy. 2 months, you said.
2 months, that's it.
Come on.
But now that's an easy project.
Being close to the natural spoils of the Pembrokeshire coast path is a driving factor behind David and Alison's move to this county. Along the route sits the historic town of Tenby, which has 14th century walls and the remains of its fortified castle dating back to Edward III's reign. Between the 14th and 16th century, Tenby prospered as a major port, and earlier in the week we arranged for our couple to meet Marion Davis, a blue badge tourist guide, to discover more about the town.
Okay, so this is the Tenby Harbour, and you can see this is one of the most photographed harbours in Wales. It is the jewel, really, in Pembrokeshire's crown. It's a great beauty. And, of course, this is where the wealth of Tenby was actually made, really, in the heyday of the trading era. We had all sorts of exotic luxury items coming in here from the continent. Well, the first citrus fruits ever to arrive in a port of Wales came into Tenby when, in 1566, oranges arrived from Aveiro in Portugal. This is still a very busy fishing port, in actual fact, so it tends to be a more locally based, I think a more locally based kind of business nowadays, you know.
The colourful villas that line the harbour are a reminder of when Tenby became a popular seaside resort during the Victorian era. Today, Tenby attracts around 2.5 million visitors, many who come for the breathtaking scenery. And a short walk up to the top of Castle Hill provides spectacular panoramic views of the beaches and outlying islands. A couple of miles offshore is Caldy Island, which is home to a unique set of entrepreneurs.
It's actually owned by monks. They're Reformed Cistercians, and they've been there since the 1920s, really. And they run it as a business. You know, not only do they live there, but it is run as a business. So they have herd of beef cattle, they make chocolate and fudge, and inspired by the wildflowers of the island, they've also created a perfume and toiletry industry for themselves. I mean, I think it started, as far as I know, from selling bunches of lavender, and from there progressed into quite a successful business.
There is wildlife here too, with about 5,000 grey seals living in and around Pembrokeshire's coastal borders. This beautiful county has certainly been a favourite holiday spot for David and Alison, but let's hope we can find them a permanent home here as our house hunt continues. For our second property, we're moving closer to the coast, near the Cleddau estuary, to the rural hamlets of Marteltwy. The nearest hub for amenities is 7 miles away in Narberth, which has gained a reputation for its varied mix of quality independent shops. Our second property gives them a more substantial project on the holiday let side. Well, as you can probably tell, it's a converted barn.
Yeah.
But it does offer an awful lot of accommodation. It's got a huge footprint, as you can tell.
Yeah.
You've got this, currently workshop stroke garage.
Yeah.
with a bit of a gap between it and a wood store.
Yes.
And I'm thinking if you could continue that roof right across.
Yeah.
And hold the accommodation.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot
For you to build round, I think, Dave.
I love this. It's all about keeping you busy, isn't it?
That's right.
Now, we haven't got acres to play with, and I'm not sure that's such a problem.
No.
No.
I prefer
Yeah.
more property and less land.
That's right. Yeah.
OK, well,
yeah.
we've certainly got that for you. Yeah? Come and have a look.
This barn conversion definitely gives them space and scope to add their own personal touch.
OK. Now, the finish in here is perhaps not what you would have expected
No, not at all.
from the outside.
No, it's it's a lot more sleeker.
We've also got 2 of the 4 bedrooms that are on offer here. One small child's one in there, and that one, which currently is a sort of guest room, but would make a fantastic office study
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
if needs be.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
OK.
Well, let's see how they react to the main lounge.
Now, this is really where I think this house starts to sort of come together, really, in terms of giving you that sense of cosy cottage, but with a kind of contemporary feel.
This is a nice room.
This is nice. Light
Nice
air
and
room.
bright.
Yeah.
Nice size as well.
Fireplace is nice. That's nice.
Yeah, and you've got, multi-fuel burner in there.
Yeah.
wood burning that. No, this
nice room.
is a good room. It's nice size.
I see, I'm worried that we've spoiled you with the first one.
It's not quite grabbing me the same way the first one grabbed me. But this is a bigger footprint, so it's nice to see what you've got to work with.
Off the hallway is a cloakroom with the added benefit of a sleek shower unit. But will the size and style of the kitchen be to their liking?
Now, this is really a comparable size to property number 1, I would say,
Yeah.
kitchen-wise.
Yeah.
More
yeah.
contemporary.
Yes, a lot more.
But then again, they've got it's like a sofa in here as well. So
Loads of space.
Yeah.
There's a little utility room in there.
Yeah.
So it probably offers you more in
Yeah.
terms of a kitchen than the other one.
Yeah, definitely.
I know it's not grabbing you as much as the first one, but, are we getting there?
I think I've got to look through the contemporary design that's in here.
Yeah, a bit more exposed wood. A bit of timber.
Yeah.
I like a barn to look like a barn.
Yeah.
Well, the 2 bedrooms upstairs might deliver some of that homely cottagey feel they're after.
This is quite nice too. Oak staircase.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is a nice feature.
Nice features.
But this is a great size. This is the master.
Well, this is lovely.
This is more.
Come on in.
Lovely.
Yeah, this is more country style.
Yeah. Through that door there is a walk-in wardrobe,
Yeah.
so all your clobber can go in there. But you've also got a very generous ensuite.
Gosh,
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more like
This
it.
is a lot more.
This is where this house scores
Yeah.
over
Yes.
the previous one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is in the bedroom accommodation.
Yeah.
And the bedroom next door, equally has an ensuite, not quite as generous as that one.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that's
easy.
fantastic.
No,
that's good.
That's
See, 2
that's really good.
ensuites.
Ah.
It's very nice. Yeah, very nice.
I say it's a grower.
Happily, upstairs has scored us a few points, but let's see if the holiday let project outside is enough to excite David.
Well, as I said when we arrived, the garden is not acres. That's pretty much it.
But there's enough. There's enough there to keep us busy.
And you've got the side garden around the back of
You've
the
got a little
house.
patio there and so forth with, I think, a vine growing over it or something.
Yeah.
And then here we've got another angle on
This outbuilding.
on this outbuilding.
Yeah, that could be made very nice into a holiday let.
More work for you to do.
Yes, indeed. But all of this is going to cost, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do we think this one is on the market for?
We're a bit close to the coast here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for about 315, Jules.
315.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to go a little bit lower, I think. I'm going to say 305.
305.
I'm being cheeky.
Yeah, very cheeky. Very cheeky. Well, this one could be yours for 325. Obviously, the nice thing about that is it leaves you technically with £75,000.
Yeah.
For another £100,000, you could have that one too.
Right, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, we're talking about an overall figure of about 425.
That's interesting.
But I'm going to let you go and have a quick look at it now.
Fantastic.
And see what you make of it. You get to it that way.
Yeah.
Follow the road round.
Yeah.
You'll eventually find the front door.
Yeah.
Off you go. Well, this is a property with a twist, isn't it? I can't wait to see what they make of that little building there. It does need a bit of work doing to it, but certainly nothing that Dave and Alison can't do. And if they got it right, well, they could have 2, 3 houses, kind of for the price of one.
Under budget at £325,000, our second property gives them a spacious 4-bedroom period home with a large kitchen diner. With the right planning permissions, the outbuilding is right for David to convert into a holiday let. And if they really wanted to go for it, they could also negotiate on the up-and-running let next door, which then pushes the total cost to £425,000. What's more, it's all in the coastal location they asked for.
This has got bags of potential.
Yeah, this has.
This is, this could make an ideal, let, holiday lets, or even a long-term let. And would it bite it off more than I could chew? I don't know at this stage. And I think the problem I've got, I think property number 1 is still quite strongly in my mind, and that maybe blurring my vision on this one.
When we drove up to the property, at first I didn't think it had the curb appeal as the first property. However, the outbuilding is a fantastic opportunity, is what we're looking for.
Aha! What did you make of the barn then?
That is very interesting. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That could work.
It's going to take a bit of work.
Yeah.
And a bit of money.
Well, we don't mind the work.
The budget may be expanding slightly, that's right. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's easily be possible, yeah, to do something there.
Good, right,
Yeah.
so 2 potential candidates on our list.
That's right, yeah, definitely.
Excellent, right, follow me.
So, as evening falls over the Pembrokeshire coastline, the first day of our house search draws to a close. Armed with their budget of £400,000, David and Alison want to up sticks from Stourbridge in the West Midlands and settle down in a country home with a holiday let in Pembrokeshire. Although they really loved our first property and would consider the second, our search so far has highlighted the tricky job of finding the perfect house with the right business potential in the right location. But could they make the mystery house work for them?
Save you knocking a wall down.
Yeah.
He can't wait, look.
And I gain first-hand experience of one of the great Welsh folk traditions.
Excellent, lovely. Well, for me, house hunting in Wales is always great fun, but here in Pembrokeshire, it's just sensational. And on a day like this, where else would you want to be? The coastline here is one of this region's absolute sweet spots. One more property to come, of course. It's mystery house time. Will that sway our buyers? Well, as ever, we'll just have to show them. I mean, one thing that struck me over the previous 2 houses is that you've approached them very positively.
Yeah.
But they're not quite extensive enough to keep you busy. It might be worth, given that essentially you've got, the budget in cash.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to be mortgage-free, but if you just tipped over...
I totally agree, Jules. To get our long-term goal, what we're looking for, I think we've got to broaden our horizons that way.
Our mystery property stays in their budget comfort zone, but we're ditching rural isolation and heading to the outskirts of Pembroke. This is a coastal market town with a medieval castle that provides an impressive local landmark. It's also a popular draw for tourists, which all adds to the attraction of our mystery house. Although it's just a mile from the town centre, you'd never know it from its setting. And it's a substantial package, consisting of a home for them and the potential for 2 holiday lets.
Now then, very different to what we've seen so far. Currently, the whole thing is a holiday let.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah.
So it's not furnished
Yeah.
as a family home might be, for example, but what we're thinking is that this would be your home.
Yeah.
And then obviously you could develop the other bits.
That sounds fantastic.
First impressions, I like what I see.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah.
OK. Let's have a look then. Follow me.
With Dave and Alison's personal stamp, our mystery house would make a lovely family home.
You can grab the door, Alison. As you can tell, it hasn't got that lived-in feel.
No.
It's a bit echoey.
Yeah.
But have a look in here. This is rather nice, I think. The kitchen, kitchen diner.
Yeah, this is lovely. This is a lovely size.
Yeah.
And one nice thing about it, it's a blank canvas, really.
Yeah.
To work with.
The glass doors, that's a nice touch.
Well, the nice thing about this is that the kind of neutral theme in terms of decor and so on kind of flows throughout it. So it's not encumbered with lots of different colours and thoughts. You know, it all joins itself together quite nicely.
Across the hallway, the reception rooms give them lots of options.
So this is the dining room. Fairly sort of sparsely furnished in a way, but I think it sets the scene, obviously. I love the fireplace.
That's a lovely feature.
It's a big room.
It's such a big room, this. It's kind of at odds with the living room.
Right.
Which is through here. I wonder if you wouldn't sort of swap the two round in a way.
I may even be tempted to
knock the
take
wall out.
this wall out.
Because you've got this lovely feature here, this kind of garden room.
That's lovely.
That's a lovely feature, that.
Yeah, all the other thing is, Jules, because you've got the eating kitchen, I don't know if I'd have another... I'd probably have that as a sitting room and then this as an office cum study space at the back. Is that something else we could look at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save you knocking a wall down.
Yeah.
He can't wait, look.
Well, David will have to hang fire for now. Tucked away under the staircase is an attractive and spacious family bathroom. Upstairs gives them a generous 4 bedrooms in total, 2 doubles, 1 with an ensuite, and a 3rd single. And next door to the nicely fitted family bathroom is the 4th, which I think would be ideal for them.
For argument's sake, we'll call this the master. It's kind of interchangeable with one that's a similar size at the other end of the corridor. I think this is as good a room as any to show you.
It's lovely and light. The window's lovely. Yeah.
Vaulted ceiling, that's nice.
Yeah.
No, it's a smooth plaster boards. It's ready to go, isn't it?
As we head outside and look at the outbuildings, it's worth bearing in mind that as a holiday let, our mystery house itself pulls in as much as £900 a week, so it might be worth decamping during peak season to maximise their income. Set away from the house is an existing let, sleeping 2 people, with an open-plan living room and kitchen, plus a bedroom and bathroom. And next door, there's a project in the making.
This is what I want you to kind of put your builder's mind to.
Yes.
As you can see, it's a pretty dilapidated shed cum greenhouse cum garden store. I mean, but how daunting an idea is it?
That's the project that really you were looking for.
Yeah, that is a project to get your teeth into it. Obviously, the planning will take time, but you know, but it doesn't have to happen overnight. That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The grounds would also make a great backdrop for guests. Amounting to 1.1 acres, they wrap around the property and are predominantly made up of woodland with the added feature of a pond.
So, what do you think?
I think it's lovely.
Yeah,
I think it's really lovely and it's something to get your teeth into.
Yeah, it's a longer term project. You know, there's a few projects to be getting on with there. Yeah, I'm just starting to panic a bit now.
Don't panic. Never panic. Let's have a think about the price, though. It's our final guess of the week.
Yeah.
Alison?
Oh, gosh. I think it's probably over budget, Jules, if I'm honest. I'm going to go for about 425.
425, yeah.
That was a very similar figure to what I've had it in my mind. I'll go 420, slightly less, just to be different.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was £364,950.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that puts a different perspective on it, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
I'm
Just?
shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, £364,950 for the Mystery House, and it could be yours.
Sold.
Off you go. Enjoy the moment. Brilliant. Well, there we are. They're absolutely right. This is fantastic value for money. It is in a fantastic spot, and it does offer all the scope that they're after. Has the Mystery House done it again, I wonder? Fingers crossed.
At just shy of £365,000, our Mystery House provides them with a comfortable home. There's a huge kitchen diner, along with 2 other reception rooms, which gives Alison scope for her study. Upstairs offers them 4 bedrooms, and outside in just over 1 acre of grounds, there's an existing holiday let with the possibility over time to develop a second.
The 2 outbuildings, absolutely great for development for David. The house itself is lovely. We could move in straight away, put our own stamp on it. The added advantage of 2 reception rooms and a 4th bedroom is fantastic. To me, this is the best contender of the week.
It's an unusual field. It's quite a central location, you know, to the town, but it's totally got a rural feel when you're in the property with the acre or so of land. It does open up possibilities, you know, with the lets. The house itself is ideal for us to live in. You know, an overall package, it ticks a lot of the boxes what we've asked for.
Ah, the chitter-chatter. Have you figured it all out yet?
Well, there's a lot to figure out, Joel, but I mean, it does tick a hell of a lot of the boxes that we've asked to be ticked.
It's a great property, you know, and for what you're after, I think it's terrific, you know. But they've all been good. They've all been interesting.
Yeah, they've all been different, but this one does stand out, I must admit.
So what happens next?
Well, we're going to sit down and talk about that.
I think you should. Yeah, I think you should.
Having lived in Wales for well over 20 years, I've always been interested in its heritage. With a history dating back to the 17th century, the love spoon is synonymous with Welsh folk tradition, and I've come to meet Kerry Thomas, a local woodcarver, to find out more about their significance.
Kerry.
Hello there.
Nice to see you. Now, Kerry, no trip to Wales is complete without taking home a love spoon, I suppose, but you've made it into a family business.
That's correct. We started in 1975 and we've been here ever since.
Now, what's the story behind them? Because there is a whole range of possibilities that go into any one spoon, aren't there?
Well, the main belief is that they were carved by the young men as tokens of engagement or betrothal, and then offered to the young ladies that they were courting.
Kerry has charted his own romance through the spoon's designs.
Well, that one's the first one. You see, it's got an empty heart, okay? So it's quite important because the next one I did, the following here, is this one.
Ah!
And this time, you see you've got the Cupid there, of course, the lovebirds, and then promising my fiancée a cottage, you see.
Did she get the cottage as well?
I'm afraid not, but there we are. No harm in promising.
Well, I love the fact that you can really create your own. I guess, you know, it's up to your imagination, really, as to how it finally ends up. But I can't wait to have a look and just see how you do it. Is there a simple design that I can get cracking with?
Yeah, we can start on one now, OK?
In the family's workshop, Kerry's son David is grafting away. They've picked out a simple spoon template with a heart and daffodil, which I first need to carefully trace around.
Right, there we are. So, moment of truth. There it is.
That's great.
So what do we start with first?
Well, what we're going to do first is to cut the bowl.
This end here?
We're going to cut the bowl.
Yeah.
So, we put him in the vice there.
I love working with wood.
Oh, it's a lovely material.
I kind of envy you, actually, all day long, just creating.
Historically, it's thought that sailors filled their many laborious hours aboard ship, whittling away in dimly lit cabins, making these love tokens. Once the spoon has been shaped, it's time to carve out the basic design with a little help from the odd machine. But the finer detail needs to be carefully worked by hand.
So there's our heart taking shape. Next, the daffodil.
Yes, please. So if you make a little start there, if I just start that off, you hold that one there, nice and gently. Notice the angle of the chisel going back now. There we are. Excellent. And again, that's fine.
This looks like it could be a dangerous part of the process.
This is the make or break. Now this is...
Yeah?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes, please. Excellent, lovely.
The range of designs on the spoons all have different meanings. For instance, a carved twist symbolises growing together, whilst a cross represents faith or a sign of memorial. Pembrokeshire spoons often feature a wide, flat panel, although, as Kerry's commissions show, they all convey a personal message and can vary hugely. This fairly basic spoon design typically takes 2 hours to make, the last stage being to varnish it to bring out the grain of the oak.
Well, guys, thank you very much indeed. It's been a real treat getting a window on your world and just seeing how these lovely things come into being. Of course, this does mean I'm going to have to get married now, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the other little tradition, of course, which is the nice bit, you can tell the young lady that she has to polish the spoon every day as well, okay?
I like that idea. That's great. Well, it's decision time for Dave and for Alison, and something tells me that their horizons might be expanding a bit. Well, guys, here we are again, overlooking Tenby in the sunshine. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, fantastic.
Really good, yeah.
Let's just remind ourselves of where we started. That lovely cottage, which, you know, you said, I think, was a kind of classic picture postcard image.
Oh, most definitely. You couldn't have wished for a better approach, you know. And the finish inside was absolutely, you know, impeccable.
The setting was great, the 6 acres was absolutely fantastic. However, I just felt that it was not enough work to carry us forward there, Jules.
Well, our second property, much bigger footprint to that converted barn.
That's right, yeah.
And we had, you know, the possibility of doing something with the garage stroke workshop.
Yeah.
But then I threw in the added bonus of the little barn next door.
Yeah, I mean, that was a surprise in itself, really. But Alison, I think he was just worried about the size of the actual plot it was all on, really.
Yeah, and I thought once it was developed, the land itself wouldn't justify the plots that were there, so ideally it was on the reverse from property number 1.
Our mystery house, now that I think has gone down rather well.
The overall feel of that property was a nice feel, flowed well. The ground it was stood in was just in proportion to the house, and the outbuildings were ideal to, for a long-term project there. Yeah.
And you loved the price.
Oh gosh.
The price was a shock, pleasant shock, But no, I definitely want to, investigate that one further.
But this brings me on to my next question.
Yeah.
Of what happens next, because in a way we've played safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're cash buyers. We've tried to bring all our properties comfortably in under budget.
Yeah.
And leave you mortgage free.
Yeah.
But my sense is you want a little bit more now.
I think so, Jules, and I think also when I first came to look for the search, land wasn't a priority really, but now after seeing the 6 acres, I'm now thinking I would like something with a bit more land, and the development opportunity for a few more outbuildings really.
Yeah.
So that then takes us to the level of that we start to increase our budget, which I think that's also a possibility now.
Well, guys, it's been a great pleasure. I mean, I think any one of the 3 we've shown you, you could go to and play safe, bring it in under budget.
Yeah.
But I suspect if you want that bigger project that you can really sink your teeth into,
go for it
and get something that you can really go for.
Yeah.
No, but it's been a fantastic experience.
Yeah, and we've enjoyed every minute of it.
Brilliant. Well, we've loved having you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, it's funny how some of these house searches turn out. When we set off with Dave and Alison, they were very keen to play it safe, as they said, to keep everything within budget. And let's face it, who could blame them? But as it's turned out, well, they're keener than ever to bite off a much bigger chunk of Pembrokeshire. The idea of having a small holiday let, something of a cottage industry, well, that's all been transformed into a fully fledged business idea, and I think that is really exciting. Of course, they're going to have to borrow a little bit more money, but when you're blessed with scenery and beaches like this, is there a price you can really put on it, I wonder? I'm not really sure. You can.
If you would like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.